To the weekly Active Point Live. I'm your host, Mocon, for the Roadshow edition here in Brossard, Quebec. We're here for the Division D finals between the upstart Average Joes, the 6th seed, against the very high seed in the Incredibles. First and foremost, let's welcome in the Div D expert to the show for the first time ever. Your initiation, Andrew Dana, welcome to the show.
It's good to be here. I'm very excited for these finals, Mo.
Well, the last time these two teams played each other, the Average Joes won this football game 26-24. Tom Nicolatopoulos had 4 TDs, 1 INT. The exact same outline for Greg Stern himself, 4 TDs, 1 INT. Let's fast forward now to August, and this is the finals. One game says it all. Who will win? We'll find out in 1 hour's time. Let's break it down here. The Tom Magic, Andrew.
Yeah.
Last 2 games, he's won the game in the last minute, the last 5 plays of the semifinals and conference finals. Can he continue on with this magic?
What's magical about Tom Nicolatopoulos, Mo, is his decision making. This guy is poised in the pocket. He does not get intimidated by these situations. He's been there before, been there, done that kind of guy. No problem. I saw him in those last 2 games, last drive. His confidence, it filters through the team in his huddle. There's no reason that they should get into a situation that they're intimidated by if Tom Nicolatopoulos is throwing that ball.
All right, let's look on the opposite side of the realm here. We have Greg Stern, Mr. Fundamentals himself, who was out here probably an hour and a half prior to kickoff, warming up with his teammates. Now, if you recall, the last time we saw Greg Stern live in a playoff game early on was in the winter season, in which they got easily handled. Now, which Greg Stern will we see? The one who's played very well in the spring playoffs, or the one from winter playoffs?
We're going to see spring playoff Greg Stern. I saw him out here really early with the rest of his guys, stretching, practicing, running through some routes. This guy's fundamentals are fantastic. He's a little guy, shorter than me in fact, but his mechanics are almost perfect. He's strong for his size. Again, poised, young guy, but he controls his huddle very well. And I've seen him play every single playoff game this season. No reason that we shouldn't see that Greg Stern. He's here to play. Don't worry about Greg Stern.
All right, we've heard about Jacob Peterson. My apologies, but the one guy to look at though for the Incredibles, Marco Bertoldi.
That's right.
5 TDs in 3 playoff games up till now. He's had a pretty good playoffs himself. Will he be the main difference for the Incredibles over the Average Joes?
He will be if the Average Joes overcompensate on Jacob Peterson. What's good about the Incredibles is that they have more than one weapon. If another team adjusts and they see that all of a sudden Jacob Peterson is double teamed, easily go to Marco Bertoldi, who's a very physically strong receiver. If you throw it to him in single coverage, he can go up there, win you a ball.
All right, what about the experience of the Average Joes? We mentioned Tom Nicolatopoulos, the quarterback. They do have JP Mancini, Ben Joseph, and they do have, of course, Anthony DuPont, guys who've had experience playing in FPF finals.
Right.
Will that be a key factor with them against the rookie novice like Incredibles?
That's a good question. This is what I kind of refer to as the battle of the intangibles. You have the Average Joe's experience versus the youth of the Incredibles. I do think that the experience will be on the side of the Average Joes. It's going to help them. What we might see is maybe a panic moment here and there from the Incredibles. You won't get that from the Average Joes. You have championship winners on that team. You have guys with years of experience in FPF under their belt, not just in Division D, not just in Division 5. These guys know where they are. They're here to win. They're calm, relaxed. They're here to win. And they're confident.
All right, who will have a bigger game, Marvin Golding or Jacob Peterson?
I honestly think that Marvin Golding is the guy today. He is the key factor. If he is used correctly, and I think that the average Joes have that experience, they are intelligent enough to use him correctly. If they do, this could be a very, very key game for Marvin Golding right now. He's an excellent target, especially in the red zone. Very difficult in red zone coverage to cover this guy. Strong, tall, smart player.
All right, let's go to the sideline report now. Andrew got the opportunity to interview a couple of players from both teams on the pregame reports.
Hey, I'm here with Jacob Peterson of the Incredibles. Jacob, you're about to face the Average Joes here in the finals for Division D. These guys beat you in your regular season matchup. How are you going to change that for this week?
Well, we've changed a lot. Our offense is probably the same, but our defense has gotten a lot better, and that was the main problem. We lost on I remember it was a safety at the last second. So I think our offense is always good. It's always been good. Not worried about that. Our defense, we've been getting bigger, we've been getting tougher. Good. I think that should handle it.
Good, cool. And how about on the other side, you got a big guy to worry about, Marvin Golding. How are you planning on dealing with that?
Yeah, we've definitely thought about that. He's a great player. We don't have anyone physically who can match him, but our defensive system, I think, can handle it. We got someone good playing in the middle, and our safeties are aware, and I think we should have no problem.
Cool. And finally, you guys are relatively inexperienced as compared to the Average Joes. Do you think that's going to hurt you today?
I mean, experience definitely helps, but we've been in this league a year and to this 2 years now, and we're at the finals. So I think our lack of experience has brought us this far. I should win us one more game.
Cool. Thanks a lot, Jacob, and good luck.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks, Jacob.
Thanks.
Hey, I'm here with JP Mancini of the Average Joes. JP, you're about to take on the Incredibles in the finals of Div D. A big part of the Incredibles offense is Greg Stern. How do you plan on making life difficult for him today?
Well, we have a couple options to shut down Stern. We know he's a good pocket passer and he can move around as well. So we know it's not going to be easy, but we have a couple options in Omar, Nake, and Martin Gregory, two good guys who have rushed in the pass and have done a good job of that, and guys who have played at the higher level. So they know what to expect from a guy like that, and hopefully we can get some production out of either of those two guys.
Cool, thanks. And another big key for them is Jacob Peterson, big offensive weapon. How are you planning on dealing with that today?
We have three good coverage guys. I mean, with Nathaniel Thomas, Ben Joseph, and Martin Gregory playing in the backfield as defensive back, safety, or corners, those three guys are all capable of playing a shutdown role. And we won't adjust our defense to where he is. We'll just have whoever he is on that side, that guy's responsibility will be to cover him. And we're pretty confident in our scheme. It's worked well for us the last couple of weeks.
And how about being ahead by halftime? Your last two playoff wins have been come from behind. How important is it for you to be ahead at halftime?
Obviously, we'd like to be ahead at halftime. That's obviously our goal. It's always our goal. But we know, like you said, we've been down by two points in the halftime of each other game. So we're not too worried about it. We feel like we can come back. We faced adversity before, but obviously it's important to try and take a lead going into halftime.
Thanks a lot, JP, and good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks, JP.
All right, Andrew, let's look at the X factors in this football game. We mentioned Marvin Golding, we mentioned Jacob Peterson, two guys who we think will have big games. But let's talk about someone who we haven't mentioned yet that could be an X factor.
Well, who we've forgotten, for example, Ben Joseph. This guy has big play ability. For example, those last-minute drives that the Average Joes have been putting together, Ben Joseph is a big part of that. He caught an important pass last week against Maximum Carnage to keep them into this drive. He won them that first down. At the end of the game, he's the one who picked off that ball to get them possession back and basically squash the dreams of Maximum Carnage. It's definitely Ben Joseph if you're talking about the Average Joes.
And for the Incredibles?
On the other side of the ball, I think Andrew Funamoto can be very important. I've seen him, he plays only defense. However, when the Incredibles are on the field, he's always involved in play calling with Greg Stern. He used to coach Greg Stern in high school. I think that with his presence on the bench, there's nothing that'll rattle Stern. He comes out to see him in between plays. They have a little powwow, decide what's best, and they do what's best for the team together.
All right then, Andrew, it's time to make your prediction here. Who will be hoisting this trophy in 1 hour's time from now? Will it be the upstart Average Joes or the Disney-like Incredibles?
Well, this trophy, which I don't dare to touch because I hope to one day win it myself, I see Jacob Peterson and Greg Stern holding this above their head in an hour's time from now.
Final score?
By a touchdown. I see something like, a 30-24 win for the Incredibles.
All right, so there you have it, our pregame show for the Division D Finals. Andrew Diana has picked the Incredibles to be hoisting the Div D trophy in about 1 hour's time. Coming up next is the play-by-play of the Div D finals. Stay tuned for the halftime report and the post-game wrap-up with Andrew and I after this. Coming up next, the Incredibles and Average Joes for the Div D title. And welcome to the Div D finals between the Incredibles and Average Joes. The Incredibles starting off with the ball. Greg Stern, Mr. Fundamentals himself at quarterback, getting the football, snapping it, going. He pumps it. He's looking, rolling out right. He's going to run it, and he will get about 14 or 15 yards on that play. Let's welcome in Robert Campana to the broadcast booth. Robert, your thoughts on this?
Yeah, well, Greg Stern, he's going to have to evade the Omer Nayek rush for most of the day. Omer has been doing a great job, combined with Marvin Golding, containing running quarterbacks this playoff run. And they're going to have their hands full with Greg Stern, that's for sure.
All right, first down. The referees mark it as a first down for the Incredibles, taking on the upstart Average Joes in this Div D Spring Finals. Greg Stern was away for a bit. Andrew Funamato took over at quarterback, but now he's back at the helm. Getting the snap, he drops back looking to his right. He pumps, he's going to the right side. He has an open man for a huge gain.
Marco Bertoldi.
25 yards. Nathaniel Thomas with a huge tackle, and the play is going to be just outside the end zone.
And you know what, Mo? Bertoldi's been a quiet contributor for them this year. He's been their number 2 receiver across the board, behind, of course, Jacob Peterson, who was the receiver of the year. The guy has just burst onto the scene. Last winter, you didn't hear much from him on the offensive side of the ball. Had a great year rushing, and it's good to see a second guy really step up on the offensive side of the ball to be a complement to Jacob Peterson.
All right, just outside the goal line, inside the red zone for the Incredibles. Not a great start for the Average Joes. Stern has a trips to the right. He drops back. He's looking. He pumps. He throws to the left side. Touchdown, Caleb Jones. 6-0. The Incredibles.
And this is something we want to look at all game, Mo, because as we know, the size advantage is strongly in favor of the Average Joes. So we'll keep an eye on how the Incredibles do once they're in the red zone.
Especially with the likes of Darren Bazerjan and Marvin Godding as well.
Yeah, Marvin Golding being the key contributor, of course, inside those 5-yard hash lines.
All right, they're going out for the PAT now to potentially make it a 7-0 lead for the Incredibles. A second season team in their first calendar year in FPF. Vying for their first ever title in Div D. Stern gets the ball. He looks to his right. He pumps. He's going over the middle, blocked by Omar Naik, and it's still 6-0.
And you know what? We'll keep an eye as well on Omer Nayek rushing all game and the batted balls. Over the course of the season, Omer Nayek led the team in sacks with 3. The only other player to record a sack was Nathaniel Thomas with 1. As you can tell, 4 sacks over the course of the season, not a high number. We feel like the Average Joes probably do a better job containing the run and batting balls down rather than actually getting quarterback sacks.
Well, it's obvious that they need to go to the MoCon Russian school.
Maybe.
Potentially. All right. The Average Joes now at the helm. Tom Bob Nikotopoulos getting the snap. Looking to his left. He throws a quick pass out to JP Matsu, who makes a turn and gets about 4 or 5 yards on the play. It'll be second down, tackled by Caleb Jones.
And you know what? All season, people have been looking at the Average Joes as an underdog team. But if you ask me, they have a lot of talent across the board. A lot of guys who played in higher divisions. JP Mancini being one of them here, seen with making the reception, playing as high as Division B last spring with the Black Shirts and Ross Castleton. So this team is definitely not a team that should be viewed as an underdog. In fact, many people across the board are seeing them as a favorite here in this game.
All right, Tom with the throw. He throws it high. It's caught by JP Mancini once again for about 10 yards on the play. That will be enough for a first down, and the Average Joes are moving the chains.
Greg Stern in on the tackle there, and a lot of people don't give him enough credit for his work on the defensive side of the ball.
Well, again, Greg Stern, a guy who plays two-way, but also Jacob Peterson as well, being the key player for the Incredibles. Mr. Two-way himself in Div D, and of course in last winter in D5. Average Joes driving now. Third play of the drive coming up for them. Tom Nikotopoulos surveys the field. He gets a snap. He looks, pumps. He's going to throw an underhand pass to Ben Joseph a la Brett Favre on that play. That'll get him a few yards on that.
Yeah, Tom will be creative like that. He's not a guy with the prototypical strong arm as we've seen with other quarterbacks in Division D, Stern being one of them, Marco Mashotra, other quarterbacks in that mold. But he gets the job done. Very crafty, reads the defense extremely well. Probably one of the best quarterbacks in Division D at reading the defense. We don't see it at this level as well as, of course, as we do in the higher divisions. But with his experience over the years of playing in Flag Plus, Tom Nikotopoulos does a great job.
All right, he gets the ball. He throws a quick pass out to Marvin Golding. A short gain on the play, about 7 yards on that. That'll keep the chains moving once again.
And Marvin Golding is really the one guy this game that I want to keep my eye on. Athletically, just size-wise, no one matches up with him on the Incredibles. If Tom Nikolopoulos decides to use him as he did in the semifinals against Maximum Carnage, where he scored 3 touchdowns, which were pretty much carbon copies of themselves, with skinny post routes inside the red zone to Marvin Golding. Not many guys in Division D can go up and get the ball away from Marvin.
All right, Tom Nikolopoulos waits for. He throws a corner route. It is deflected. Greg Stern once again with the bat down on that play. Huge end zone defensive play. And we're seeing Tom Nikolopoulos throw a little bit high out there, and of course intended for JP Mancini on that, but couldn't corral it in, as it's second down now for the Average Joes.
And Tom's done a good job of throwing the ball high and really putting it up where his receivers can be the only ones to get the ball. We've seen that throughout the playoffs. He knows that his team has a size advantage here in this game. We'll see how he uses it.
Tom rolling out to his left. He throws it out of bounds in the back of the end zone. JP Mancini not having the Marvin Golden Lake height to catch that football. It is third down, and the Average Joes need to score to match the opening drive scored by the Incredibles. A very short team, as you pointed out before.
Yeah.
Robert.
Let's keep an eye on Omer Naik as well, Mo, a guy who we usually don't speak about on offense, but over the course of the season, just because of inconsistencies with roster, Average Joe's second leading receiver in most categories was Omer Naik.
Tom throws a quick pass out. It is touchdown, JP Mancini. It is 6-6. It looked like it was a blown coverage by the Incredibles.
Yeah, well, you got to figure they're in some kind of lanes defense there, and it just seems like JP Mancini is able to sneak into the front pylon and get open for a quick strike.
It seems like his hair never wavers at all.
Oh, JP's. We have a feeling JP's hair might be made out of plastic, but we'll have to get confirmation on that.
All right, the Average Joe's going for the extra point, making a little substitution to bring in a taller receiver in there. We'll get the number.
Tuazu is actually the receiver they brought in to replace Omer Naik.
Nikolopoulos surveys the field. He looks in the middle. He throws it over the hands intended for Aizu, but he could not corral it in, as it is 6-6 after the first 2 drives of this Division D Finals.
Not one stop yet from either side, so we'll see if this will be a recurring theme over the course of the game.
All right, 6-6, the Incredibles against the upstart Average Joes. Both teams taking different paths to get to this point of the spring finals. As we're looking at the Average Joes, a team no one thought would be at this point, and for the Incredibles, getting some excellent wins throughout the playoffs to get to this pinnacle of maybe winning a title in their second season in FPF. Greg Stern has a base formation on offense, surveys the field, he gets the ball, he's looking over the middle, he throws it over the middle, it is caught.
Edinson Neal
catching that football, 17 yards. Darren Basmajan, Mr. Tackling Machine himself with a huge play.
Well, Edinson Neal is a guy we don't mention often, but he's definitely that third receiver that slides in under Botoldi and Peterson. Very reliable hands, good route runner, and we might see a lot of those underneath receptions by him today. And it's funny you mentioned Darren, actually. It looks like that the idea I've gotten here is it looks like the Average Joes are in a 2-3 alignment with Ben Joseph locking down the middle of the field, so it'll be important that Daniel Joseph and Darren Basmajan make those tackles. We don't want to give the Incredibles any extra yards.
Stern throws it out. It is incomplete, intended for, once again, Neal. He couldn't hold on to the football. It will be second down. A very sharp pass by Greg Stern.
And you can see where Stern put that ball. You can't ask for a better pass than that, Mo. It's those are balls that have to be reeled in there, especially in a game as big as this.
Very wise words from you, Rob Capana, on this play. All right, here we go. Second down coming up for the Incredibles. And right now for them, even though Greg Stern has been away, it seems like he has not lost a step with his football team going into this finals.
Well, Greg Stern played 6 out of 10 games in the regular season. Andrew Funamoto, who played 1 game as receiver and then the last 4 as quarterback. He's not here actually playing tonight, but he did an admirable job filling in for Stern. I'll give you the statistics as we go along.
Once again, Darren Basmajan with the tackle, and Caleb Jones keeping that gain to a minimum 6 yards. It will be third down coming up for the Incredibles, who are driving to hopefully make this a 12-6 lead, at least, if not more, in this finals. And
Stern, Mo, actually, if you want to look at his stats, threw for 27 touchdowns, only 5 interceptions, a 60% passer, and a 113.1 QB rating. These were excellent numbers. He was definitely in contention to at least be an all-star, if not win the Quarterback of the Year award. It's too bad for the Incredibles that he had to miss a good chunk of the year, but they're glad to have him back, and they're here with him.
Stern pumps. He throws it to the right sideline, left sideline. Pardon me. It is caught by Mike Cho. Touchdown. The Incredibles have a 12-6 lead, 14-yard reception for the touchdown. Incredibles up by 6.
And that's great to see. You know what? They're going right after Marvin Golding, the guy we were just singing his praises a little earlier in the game. Probably the best athlete on the field, but give Mike Cho credit. He goes up there, fights for the ball, and wins it.
All right, the Incredibles up 12-6, going for the extra point now to make this potentially a 13-6 lead early in the first half of this Div D finals. And again, Greg Stern not looking at his sink so far. Omar Nick waiting for the rush. He's going to rush him right now. He looks, Stern throws it. It is a high ball. It is out of bounds. Incomplete, intended for Edson Neal, couldn't corral it in. But there is a flag on the play, though, which will deter maybe roughing the quarterback potentially.
Yeah, it looks like the Incredibles will get a second crack at this extra point.
It could be. The referees are determining the spot right now in terms of what happened on that play, what's going on right now. And again, for the Incredibles, this could be a reprieve of sorts for them to get this extra point once more. So we'll see how this plays off for them on the ensuing play. But again, Omar Naik has to control himself rushing the quarterback.
Yeah, well, we know that Omar Naik has a history of being a rusher that leaves the ground to bat the ball down. And you know what? The pros come the cons, right? Obviously, a lot of batted balls. Does a great job at knocking passes down, but you will get those instances where you actually run into the quarterback and give them a second chance.
All right, trips to the left side of Greg Stern, waiting for the snap of the ball. He looks over the middle. He's looking to his left. He throws it over again. Intended for Mike Cho, the touchdown catcher on the second TD for Greg Stern. He could not get it in as the Incredibles are up 12-6 in this Div D finals against the Average Joes.
Hey, Greg Stern, probably one of the youngest quarterbacks in all of FPF, and you know what? This kid's got a bright future ahead of him. You could see Mo likes to always sing his praises for as far as his fundamentals are concerned. Excellent quarterback, a good young kid, and if he doesn't win the championship this time, there'll definitely be chances for this guy to win many championships in the future.
All right, the Average Joe's working with a long field here. Tom Nicolatopoulos, he's going to run, and he does a little behind the move with the football for a 2-yard gain, tackled by Caleb Jones.
Not sure what he was trying to do there. Maybe trick Caleb Jones into missing his flag belt or something along those lines.
Couldn't do so in that play. That's for sure, though. And again, for Tom Nicolatopoulos, he has that FPF experience winning the title with the Mustangs.
Yeah, I think this is if he to win today, it would be his 4th championship. He's won with the Strangers in Division 3 in 2007, the Mustangs in spring 2007 as the quarterback, and with Notre Dame in winter of 2007.
He's a winner
as well. Yeah, so 2007 was his year.
He throws a deep ball. It is caught by J.P. Mancini once again with a huge gain. He's going up the sidelines and deflagged. A 21-yard gain, tackled by Marco Bertoldi for a huge play for the Average Joes.
And good pursuit there by Marco Bertoldi. If he wouldn't have hustled back, JP would have been in for 6, no doubt.
A little flag guarding there by J.P. Mancini, which was not caught by the referees over there.
Got away with one there.
You know, the hair.
And this is something I want to look at all game here, because the Average Joes, and we've seen it with Tom Nicolatopoulos, he likes to use those 15-yard sideline routes, kind of caught between the short corner and the deep safety. So we'll keep an eye on that today.
And Nicolatopoulos sacked by Jacob Peterson, a 4-yard loss in that play. It seemed like the play was not in sync at all.
Jacob Peterson, you know what? This guy's come on as an excellent rusher over the last few weeks. Jacob is new to the position. Marco Bertoldi, who I still question what the decision was and why they took him out of there. He was probably one of, if not the best rusher in all of Division D this summer. But Jacob's been doing a great job. He's definitely a speed demon. He's one of the faster guys you'll see on the field. And the move pays off there with a big sack.
Nicolatopoulos with his vintage playbook and his toque over there. Waiting for the snap. He's looking to his right side. He throws it high. It is touchdown.
Amen. Aitwazoo.
With a 15-yard touchdown to give a 12-12 tie now between the Average Joes and the Incredibles going into this first half. A great throw by Tom Nicolatopoulos.
And Simo, just building upon what I was saying earlier, we're going to see a lot of those sideline routes from the Average Joes. Tom Nicolatopoulos is comfortable throwing that ball, and it seems like they're finding the holes in a lot of teams' 3-2 defenses.
And they are going for the extra point now to potentially make this a 13-12 lead for the Average Joes. Nicolatopoulos throws it through the hands or just outside of the grasp of Ben Joseph, who couldn't get the reception.
Dave Stein there in coverage.
And again, we are having a great start to the finals. 2 for 2, both teams are in scoring touchdowns in this.
Where is the defense, Mokan? That's what I want to know.
The defense isn't lying in this football game. That is true, unless otherwise. But we'll have to see how this game plays out, as we have plenty of more football left in the FPF Division D finals.
And as we see here, Mo, see Jacob Peterson, Marco Bertoldi both lined up on the same side of the field. Greg Stern is someone who we know likes to go to the left side of the field more often than not.
Stern throws a quick pass. It is caught. It looks like it is Jacob Pearson again with a 9-yard gain. A quick hitch pass to his slot back.
And I'm a big fan of Jacob Peterson's, Mo. This guy, I mean, we've been singing his praises all year, and his name has really burst onto the scene this spring, as you really didn't hear about him much in the winter, being a new player. But great deep ball receiver, probably the best one in Division D. But you can't underestimate him and his hands and his route running on those underneath curls and hooks and outs. He'll get that first down for you when you need it.
Very surprising that Greg Stern will continue to go to his left side, where you have Marvin Golding and Darren Basmajan, both excellent tacklers on that side of the field. Stern gets the ball, looking to his left. He pumps. He's going over to the middle. It is caught, dropped
just
by.
Just as we gave him the credit for having great hands. But I want to take a look at something, Mo, here in the replay. I don't know if you'll see it. Ben Joseph takes. Yeah, see, Ben Joseph, who plays center field here for the Average Joes, for some reason shot out to the right sideline, and it seems like there was some kind of coverage breakdown. Jacob Peterson was wide open, and Greg Stern just missed him.
Joseph does not have the experience that his predecessor, Anthony Thompson, has, who's now with the UCLA Bruins in the Pacific 12 of the NCAA. All right, third down coming up, my apologies, for the Incredibles. Throws a quick pass out, caught by Jones. 4-yard gain.
Basmajan on the tackle again.
Once again.
And as we said, Darren Basmajan and Daniel, Ben's brother, Daniel Joseph, they're going to have to come up huge. Greg Stern loves to use his snapper, Caleb Jones, and those gains of 5 yards can easily turn into gains of 15 yards. As we see, Ben Joseph likes to line up about 15, 20 yards off the ball. If Darren Basmajan is missing those tackles, Mo, we're going to see a lot of 12 to 15-yard gains for Caleb Jones.
Well, that's why Darren Basmajan, an integral part of that defense, along with Marvin Golding on that right side. All right, here we go. First down coming up for the Incredibles. Stern gets a low snap. He pumps. He's looking to his pumping again. He throws it.
We got a flag on the
It is out of bounds. A flag, as you pointed out before. It looks like it might be, I guess, interference.
Yeah,
potential
interference on the rusher. Caleb Jones got a piece of Omer Naik.
And he's not too happy about that. He's wondering what happened on that play, and the referees have called it, or will be calling it. Oh, no, they are declining the penalty.
Looks like the Incredibles declined the penalty since the pass was incomplete.
And it's that's a tricky thing to do if you're a rusher trying to bypass the snapper and vice versa as well. You don't want to interfere at all on the play, but again,
you being a rusher, Mo, do you ever feel like sometimes you'll try to fish the snapper into that call and maybe provoke a little contact?
Snappers are scared of me. That's how it is sometimes. No, it is what it is though. It comes with experience playing that position. All right, here we go. Stern waiting for the snap. He gets it. He throws a dart through the hands of Cho once again.
Another drop.
And this might cost them these drops early in the first half of this football game.
And you know what, Mo? We speak a lot about experience going into the game, and a lot of people say, you know what, experience is overrated. It's just something the media likes to talk about, just something to give storylines. But we're seeing it here. It looks like the Incredibles were much younger than the Average Joes, and it's their first time to the rodeo. They seem to be a little antsy. A lot of their very consistent players are dropping balls they shouldn't be.
Second down coming up here. Stern looking to his right. He throws a quick out. It is caught by Cho. And
it's Neil there.
Oh, it's Neil. My apologies. It looks like it will be complete from what is being mentioned, or out of bounds. I don't know. The referees have not determined it yet. From the replay, it looks like he caught the ball with the 1 foot in.
Yeah, and it's a first down reception.
Yep, there you go. It looks like it is going to be complete for the Incredibles, who are now inching closer towards the end zone of the Average Joes.
And here, Mo, this is what we were discussing. Let's keep an eye on the Average Joes inside the red zone. They might be just outside, but close to the goal line.
Stern gets the ball. He throws it over the middle. It is dropped once again. Far too many drops in the first half, Rob.
But Ben Joseph was there, Mo, and it looks like they're going to be aggressive here. Not going to give the Incredibles any easy outlets into that front of the goal line. They want to beat. It seems like they're going to let the Incredibles beat them over top.
Well, again, Greg Stern has that cannon of an arm to throw the out passes and over the middle, but so far his receivers have not kept up with his arm strength, dropping far too many balls. Stern gets a quick pass out, caught by Jacob Peterson for a 4-yard gain. Darren Basmerjan, once again, the tackling machine himself with a huge play. Taking that tackle away from Marvin Golding, looks like it.
And you see, I feel like the Incredibles would be going into the end zone more often against some smaller teams, but I think Greg Stern sees the matchups. He sees that those corner patterns aren't necessarily there with the big defenders on the average Joes. So I guess they're trying to force stuff underneath and find a way in. But you could see the difference here in their approach.
All right, the Incredibles inching ever so close to the end zone. Stern pumps to his left. He throws it over. It is dropped once again by Neal. This is not a great series for the Incredibles.
And a nice ball by Greg Stern. If you look at it, even though there was tight coverage there by the average Joe's defender, the ball did get to Edinson Neal's hands, and he had a chance to make the play.
All right, 4th down coming up right here. This could be a monumental shift in terms of maybe the momentum going towards the average Joes or staying with the Incredibles, who have been 2 for 2 so far in their first 2 series of their offensive drives.
Huge play here.
Stern getting the ball, looking over for the middle. He pumps. He throws it to the corner. It is out of bounds. Turnover on downs. A huge stop by the average Joes.
And looking again for Edinson Neal, Mo, it seems to me like Edinson Neal is getting a lot of the looks here early in the first, or at least in the first half of this game. I don't know if that has to do with Marvin Golding covering up on Jacob Peterson, but it seems to be quite an imbalance that we're not used to seeing. Jacob Peterson will usually get at least 50% of the looks with the Incredibles.
All right, the hammer now in the hands of the average Joes, who could potentially take a touchdown lead on the Incredibles, who are heavily favored to win this football game, by the way, if you look at the rankings of both teams going into the finals here. But again, anything is possible in this football game. Anthony DuPont snapping the football to Tom Nicolotopoulos. And there's a whistle on the play.
Seems like they got the ball off before the referees had signaled the play to be
Anthony
blown
DuPont, a little snap happy over there trying to get that ball off for the average Joes.
I don't know if Tom didn't like what he saw, but he's bringing the guys in, and they're going to call in a new play.
Well, again, the vintage toque of Tom Nicolotopoulos, putting his plays in the back of his toque, which has become a trait now, maybe a popular fad with everyone out there. All right, Nicolotopoulos giving a little signal, waiting for the snap. He waits. He throws it over the middle, caught by Anthony DuPont, over, and he gets a few more yards. That will be enough for a first down. A huge play by Anthony DuPont. And you can see right there, putting the football out of reach of the defenders for the average Joes, tackled by David Stein on that play. First down coming up again for the average Joes going into this Div D finals here. Been a good start for both teams. However, the average Joes stopped the Incredibles before that and have the hammer in their hand to potentially take that lead and go into halftime with the momentum on their side.
And you see Dave Stein here make a tackle on the last play, and he has a lot of the same role that Darren Basmerjan has on the other side of the ball. These are guys that can either keep gains to about 3 or 4 yards, and if it gets through them, it seems like it turns into big yardage.
All right, Nicolotopoulos throwing a high pass. It is incomplete, intended for Ben Joseph. However, Anthony DuPont and Ben Joseph were both in the same area, so who knows if that was an overthrown ball or if Ben was at the right spot at the wrong time.
Well, Marco Bertoldi getting out have his safety position there to make a nice play on the ball. It seems like he may have gotten a finger on that.
All right, second out coming up here for the average Joes. Maybe, potentially, looking to score a touchdown or so. And the referee's readjusting the rushing back, it looks like, or the first down marker. Yes, it's the first down marker to make sure it's at the proper yard marker. Tom Nicolotopoulos sees a little weakness in the defense. Who knows so far? We'll see how it plays out. He gets the ball looking over to his right side. It is thrown. It is through the hands. Once again, Aït-Ouazou through the hands of him. And this was a great play for him to catch that football and maybe get some more yards.
It looked like Tom missed him, though. I think Aït-Ouazou is a pretty big receiver. It's
a went through his hands, though.
I think I might be on the receiver's side of things here. It looks like it was just out of reach.
All right, 5 plays left in the first half. It is a 12-12 little tie between the average Joes and the Incredibles. Joes stopping the Incredibles on a great inside the red zone goal line stance. Tom Nicolotopoulos waiting for the snap. He gets it, looking to his middle. He throws it. It's caught by Ben Joseph. And he dogs his way in for the touchdown. 18-12. Average Joes.
Oh, missed tackles there by the Incredibles, and I'm sure they'd love to have another chance at that flag. Looks like he got through three or four set of hands there to get in for the score.
And a great touch pass by Tom Nicolatopoulos. Ben Joseph going up in the air to catch that and coasting in for the touchdown. 18-12, Average Joes leading the Incredibles, and maybe potentially going up by 7 points if they get the extra point conversion on the Incredibles, who look a little bit disenchanted right now, not knowing what to do in this situation. Never been in this point of the game down like this before.
Yeah, the Incredibles have been the top dog all season. It's been rare for them to be in a position where they've been trailing going into the half.
All right, here we go. Nicolatopoulos has Ben Joseph motioning to the inside receiver on the left side. He gets the ball. He looks to his right side. It is incomplete.
Good play by Dave Stein. It seems like Tom Nicolatopoulos has been trying to exploit that size advantage there on the right side of the field, but Dave Stein has been doing a great job all day getting a hand on the football.
Well, Wazoo has had problems catching that football besides his touchdown early in the first half of this game. 18-12, Average Joe's leading the Incredibles. 4 plays left in the first half, and you wonder the momentum now on the Joe's side. Can they keep it going into the second half and maybe use it as a kill shot to begin the second half of this football game? Greg Stern waiting for the snap of the football. He surveys the field. He gets it. He's looking to his left. He pumps. He's going to his right. He's throwing a deep ball. It is caught by Marco.
What a catch by Marco Bertoldi.
And a huge grab, a 40-yard touchdown. And you wonder if the momentum is now back on the Incredible side.
Oh, one of the nicer catches you will see. Goes right over the head of Nathaniel Thomas to pick that ball out of the air, keep his feet in bounds, and secure the touchdown.
Great body positioning on that to catch that football. And again, the Average Joes needed to stop that. They couldn't do that. The Incredibles with a huge play. And once again, the Incredibles may have seized that momentum to give it back to them going into the second half of this football game here. Going for the extra point to potentially take a 19-18 lead. Incredible turn of events that we've had in the last 3 minutes. Trips to the right of Stern. He waits. He looks to his right. He pumps to his right. He goes to his left. It is caught for the extra point by Caleb Jones. 19-18.
And what a huge score this was for the Incredibles, Mo. You know what? Going into the half, the Average Joes were going to start with the ball, being up by a score. You know, with the way their offense has been going, they could have seriously put the Incredibles in a very tight spot to come back and win this game. This is just an absolutely huge play by Marco Bertoldi at the biggest time.
And you wonder with 3 plays left what the mindset is for the Joes if they are now flustered by the fact that they had the lead and they lost in the span of 2 plays in which they were able to have a huge defensive stand prior to going up 18-12 in this football game. And with a few plays left in this first half, you wonder what Tom Nicolatopoulos can do to get this team up by a touchdown, if not more, in this football game.
Well, I wonder if they're going to be aggressive here, Mo. I wonder if they're going to try to go for that long ball to Marvin Golding, or if they're going to try to march up the field in a couple plays.
All right, Nicolatopoulos waiting for the whistle to blow it in. He does. And he waits. He goes over the middle. It is caught by Anthony DePont. He catches it. He goes through 2 defenders. The flag, a flag coming out by the referee. And you wonder if what it will be if it was flag guarding or holding by the defense.
Yeah, it looks like it's against DePonte there. It looks like he ran someone over. And for the Incredibles, you got to give up that completion. That played right into their defense. The Incredibles had 3 guys lined up deep. Tom Nicolatopoulos just took what they gave him and accepted a 7 or 8 yard gain.
Oh, yeah, it looks like it is a flag guarding by Anthony DePont.
Yeah.
You know, his favorite team is the Pittsburgh Steelers. Jerome Bez is called a bus. We'll call him the City Bus.
Yeah, there you go. I'm
The
sure
City
he'll take that
Bus.
well. Where's number 83? I assume in honor of Heath Miller, big tight end for the Steelers.
There you go. The City Bus with the flag on that play, as it is now second down for the Average Joes coming up.
2 plays left.
Nicolatopoulos gets it. He pumps. He's waiting. He's going to throw it over. It is deflected. It is intercepted by Jacob Pearson. A huge play. Momentum is now back once again with the Incredibles.
That play was made by Dave Stein over the middle. Gets a hand on the football. Jacob Peterson just catches the ball like a can of corn falling right out of the sky. Big play by Dave Stein.
A huge play. Jacob Pearson with the INT on that. And you wonder if they can maybe score some more points to go up by 7 points, if not more than that.
Who would have thought, Mo? With 5 plays left, they're down by a score. They score that big play, then they get the ball back on a turnover. They might be able to score twice here in the span of those 5 plays.
Ben Joseph trying to captain his team to have them positioned well And he's going to play deep center field on this football play right now. Stern gets the snap, he waits, he pumps, he throws it. It is high, it is deep, it is picked up by Marvin Golding, but not enough. He will be touched at the 20-yard line. So at halftime, it is 19-18. Coming up next is the halftime report. We'll find out what is going on in the mindsets of both teams on the Division D finals for spring.
The score is 19-18 for the Incredibles. A really tight game, exciting. The Incredibles are dealing with some drops. There's been like 4 of Greg Stern's passes, incompletions, have been in the hands of Incredible receivers, dropped. Besides that, you have Darren, who's leading, Darren Bethmagian, who's leading in tackles with 4. JP Mancini has 4 catches up to now, one of which for a touchdown. Marco Bertoldi with a huge touchdown in the corner of the end zone. We're going to have the Average Joes starting with the ball in the second half, and it's a 1-point advantage for Incredibles. Let's see if they could hold on.
We thank Andrew Dana for the halftime report. All right, Rod Capan, second half coming up now, and the momentum clearly on the Incredible side, who scored 2 touchdowns in the span of 2 minutes, practically, to take a lead going into the second half.
Yeah, and you know what to look out for in the second half? The Incredibles just have to start making the easy receptions. A lot of drop balls in the first half, but looks like they have all the momentum, and I'd definitely rather be in their position right now with having just scored going in the second half.
Tom Nicola with a quick pass out to JP Mancini. Seems like he has that connection with Mancini. 6-yard gain. It will be second down.
Greg Stern then again on the tackle, showing his defensive prowess.
Doing a job well done on that play. Mancini's t-shirt a little bit ripped up.
How's it going?
And again, for the Average Joes, looking to hopefully take a lead on this opening drive of the second half of the Div D finals. Anthony, the City Bus DuPont, waiting to snap the ball to Tom Nicolatopoulos, who surveys the field. He is in a pistol formation, throws a pump over to Marvin Golding. He catches it. That will be enough for a first down, 8 yards, tackled by Jacob Peterson.
And the funny thing is, Mo, there that dump-off pass to Marvin Golding hasn't been there all day. Adam Freed has done a good job from his middle linebacker position of shooting out and taking that easy outlet away. But it seems like the first time that it was available all game, Tom Nicolatopoulos goes right back to it.
All right, first down coming up here for the Joes in this second half, down 19-18 to the Incredibles. The Incredibles looking fantastic in their red uniforms, I must say, with their yellow socks. Meanwhile, the Joes wearing the white jersey with the black trim. Nicolatopoulos gets the football. He looks to his right. He throws a quick pass out to Anthony DuPont. The City Bus spins, and he gets about 9 yards on the play, if not maybe 8. And that will be just short of another first down.
And we see here that Jacob Peterson, I've just noticed, is not rushing anymore for the Incredibles. He's dropped back to his regular safety position that he played throughout the regular season. And I think that has to do with Tom Nicolatopoulos not being the type of guy that takes a lot of sacks. Tom will take that first read, take that second read, and dump it off. He's not a guy who's going to run around back there. So I guess they feel Jacob Peterson is a better use in the defensive backfield.
All right. JP Mancini giving some last words to Tom Nicolatopoulos. Maybe he is the target on this play. Who knows? A wide formation for the Joes on the receiving core. Nicolatopoulos surveys the field once again. He gets a snap, rolling to his left. He waits a quick dump off to Marvin Golding. A short gain, which may be inside the red zone. We'll get the exact marker from the referees.
And here we saw Caleb Jones kind of shoot in right on the snap. I think the idea was good, but if you're going to shoot in, you got to shoot in front of Marvin Golding's hook and not behind it.
All right, coming up now again in the huddle for the Joes, trying to potentially score and go up by at least 5, if not more than that, in their opening drive of the second half. Nicolatopoulos in the pistol formation once again. Getting the snap, pumps, throws it over the head of JP Mancini.
Looks
a
like a
quick
miscommunication
pass.
there,
Yeah.
on the route run by JP and the ball that was thrown by Tom.
He went zig and he went zag. JP Mancini went zagging over there. And again, this is a vital drive for the Joes because they want to seize that momentum once again because they lost it, in the span of 2 minutes in the first half of the football game. Tom Nicolatopoulos with the huge decided experience playing in the FPF finals against Greg Stern, the young buck rookie in his second season. Nicolatopoulos waits, throws it over through the hands. Marvin Golding complained to the referee, thought he was interfered on that play. What do you think, Rob?
Well, let's see here. If we see in the replay, we don't really get a good view of it, but it seems like that post that was there all day against Maximum Carnage has been taken away by the Incredibles and their over-under coverage on Marvin Golding.
And that was a huge play that was incomplete. And again, you have to figure that at some point the average Joes will falter and maybe not get their touchdown. Ben Joseph in motion again, playing inside receiver on the left side. Nicola Thomas drops the ball. An errant snap by the city bus himself, Anthony DePont, and he is upset with that bad snap.
It's rare you see those out of Anthony DePonte, a seasoned vet at the snapper position, but with Tom Nikolotopoulos' eyes scanning the defensive backfield, it's tough for him to curl in that snap that's at around his ankles.
Fourth down coming up for the Joes as they're looking to hopefully go up by at least 5 points, if not more, in this opening drive of the second half. They've really eaten up a lot of plays and a lot of clock time.
And let's see if they're going to go after David Stein. They've been targeting that right side corner a lot here in the red zone all day, and Stein's done a good job. Let's see if they keep going back to it. Oh, they motion him out, so.
Nicola Top is waiting for the snap. He gets it. He's looking to the middle. He goes to his left. It is caught. It is no. The referees have called Marvin Golding out of bounds. It looks like he only had 1 foot in, or he had both feet out of the end zone.
Let's take a look at this here. But you see the muscle going up to grab that ball, and yeah, you see the size advantage. Marvin Golding over Greg Stern. I mean, he's got a good 5-6 inches on him, and probably a good 60-70 pounds of, if not more, of an advantage. So.
And Rob White, the scorekeeper, explaining to Marvin Golding that he was out of bounds on that play. All right, here we go. In this second half, momentum still on the Incredibles side, and they could potentially go up by a full touchdown score if they do happen to hit the end zone. Again, a little bit of miscommunication on the formation for the Joes. Stern looking, he goes to the sidelines. It is through the hands of Cho again, incomplete. Not the best day for the incredible receivers.
Yeah, well, you know what? That one, we could put the blame on Greg Stern there, and he'll probably take the blame there. Wasn't his best throw of the day there towards Mike Cho.
Not at all. And again, for the Incredibles in the first half, their problem was they couldn't catch the football. They had a few drops early on in the football game. But again, they're up by a single point on the average Joes, who are looking to make a stop on defense to minimize any damage whatsoever. Greg Stern in the pistol formation gets the snap. He gets quick pass out to Jacob Peterson, deflagged by Marvin Golding. And Marvin is a man possessed right now. He wants to win this FPF title.
And you can see, though, the respect that Jacob Peterson garners from the average Joe's defense. Marvin Golding, an excellent athlete as he is still dropping back and giving a cushion of about 15 yards to Jacob Peterson.
And there's our very own Darren Bazerjan helping out Peterson with this flag. And again, third down coming up here for the Incredibles. And you wonder if they get this play, will this be a backbreaker for the Joes? And Stern gets the snap. He waits. He pumps. He hesitates. He throws it over the head. And to no one, Jacob Pearson looked like he was the intended target. Stern was uncomfortable, not setting his feet, Rob.
Yeah, good rush by Omer Nayak, but I'd like to see Jacob Peterson continue on with that pattern. There was a big hole in the middle of the average Joe's defense, but he seemed to have softened up on his route. Worried probably about running into his snapper, Caleb Jones, and there was just a miscommunication.
And the Joes have elected to get the ball back. Pardon me, the Incredibles have elected to punt the ball. Joes get the ball back. A huge stop on defense for them. And this is a drive that they need to score on without question, Rob.
First punt of the game, Mo. It's here midway through the second half.
Yeah, Shane Leckler has been quiet in this football game. Tom Nikolotopoulos in the pistol formation again, gets the snap. He pumps. He's rolling out to his right. He's waiting patiently. He's going to run it for a few yards. Oh, and he knocks over the Incredibles player, and they're not too happy about that at all.
And you know what, though? I like the Incredibles defense on this. What they want is they want to force Tom Nikolotopoulos out of the pocket. When they do, that left side of their defense can automatically glide over to the right side. And as you can see on that play, Tom Nikolotopoulos did not have many options.
A true leader that he is, looking to carry another team to victory in the FPF finals. First down coming up here for the Joes, looking to take the lead in this football game. It's been one of those wacky finals so far where both teams score and they can't score now in the middle half of this football game. Nikolotopoulos gets the snap. He looks, he pumps, he goes over the middle. It
He has
is
him. Oh, he
incomplete, but the referee has thrown a flag, and this might be a PI on the defense.
And he had Ben Joseph. He was behind Peterson and Stern. The throw was a little underthrown, and which, you know what, we often see pass interference calls on these types of throws where the receiver is coming back to the ball and the defender has, no choice but to interfere.
And again, the Incredibles not complaining at all. They know very well, which could be a blessing in disguise for them to have this PI and preventing a touchdown that could have occurred.
Absolutely.
With Ben Joseph. And sometimes penalties like that could be good for the team. All right, here we go. Inside the red zone now for the Joes. Looking to punch this football in to maybe take a lead and go up by some more on the extra point, depending if they do get the touchdown here. Tom Nicolatopoulos waiting for the snap from the city bus himself. He looks, he sees a change, he looks, pumps, quick pass out to Marvin Golding, and the flag just at the lip of the goal line, it seems. And that's where they'll mark it. Caleb Jones with the tackle on that play. Second down coming up. And we see that quick pass right there to Golden, and he is just stopped probably 4 yards away.
And good work by Greg Stern there. As you can see, he was covering the deep part of the end zone with JP Mancini running across the middle of the field, but was quick enough to read the play and come up and help out on the flag.
Tom Nicolatopoulos waiting for the snap from the city bus. Ben Joseph motioning once again to the inside slot on the left side. Nicolatopoulos gets it. He throws a quick pass out.
Oh, and he had DePonte there. He had DePonte wide open. Would have been a 5-foot throw, and he had his eye on Ayet Wazoo, but the easy throw was there for Tom.
Yeah, Ayet Wazoo not having a great game at all. A lot of balls going over his head or through his hands and not being able to catch that football. Third down coming up here for the Joes, and this is imperative for them to score now because they can ill afford to not score and have more time run off the clock, and maybe the Incredibles scoring on their ensuing drive. Trips formation to the left side of the offense. My apologies. Tom Nicolatopoulos waiting for the snap of the football. He gets it, looking to his left. He waits. He throws it. It is through the hands of JP Mancini. Drop balls are now affecting the average Joes.
Well, it looks like Mancini and Tom Nicolatopoulos, it's a couple times now that their routes are not in sync. It just seems like their timing is not down because JP Mancini was wide open there.
Yeah, and he's not too happy with himself on the fact that ball went through the tips of his hand. And again, for the average Joes, they need to score to keep themselves a prize in this football game. Otherwise, if the Incredibles get this ball on turnover, on downs, my apology, this could be huge and a momentum swing again for the Incredibles.
Big play here on fourth down.
Well, Tom Nicolatopoulos has a base formation for his offense, waiting for the snap of the football from Anthony DuPont. He gets it, looking to his right side. He throws it. It is caught for the touchdown.
The
Ben Joseph with a little mock of the Incredible defense.
And great route running there by the average Joes. As you saw, the outside receiver just runs that post towards the middle. Ben Joseph just glides right under the route. Tough for the defender to stick with him in his zone coverage. Great throw by Tom Nicolatopoulos.
And Ben Joseph, a little smirk on his face, knowing very well he had a little extra celebration on that play, scoring that touchdown. And again, now for the Incredibles, looking to stop the average Joes on the extra point attempt and making this at least what they can say a score they can catch up to right now in terms of the overall assessment of this football game here. Tom Nicolatopoulos waiting for the snap from Anthony DuPont. He gets it, looking, he throws it. It is caught again.
The exact same route.
25-19. The average Joe's up now.
And you know what? That's a play that's tough to stop on the defense. Look, I'm not gonna lie, but you got to make the adjustment there. You see that as soon as Ayet Wazoo is heading towards that post, you got to jump on that out route. It's easier said than done, Mo, but it looks like the average Joes have been using that as their go-to play the whole day in the red zone.
And the funny part is Ben Joseph, as great as he is, he needs to get into the gym to really give himself a little bit bulkier. Maybe he'll muscle those people next time to get a bigger touchdown grab. All right, the Incredibles looking to now maybe go up by a single point in this football game or tie this up potentially, speaking here. Stern waits, he throws it over the middle. It is dropped once again. Caleb Jones and this receiving corps not having a great day.
And Stern's got to be disappointed. I mean, it's frustrating. You're facing a good, solid defense. You're making your reads, you're making your throws, and your receivers are letting you down. It's definitely got to be something that's weighing in the back of his mind.
The Joes have been blessed by the football gods so far that the Incredibles, not incredible catching the football up till now. Second down coming up here A base formation for the Incredibles. Stern gets the ball. He waits. Throws it to the right side. It is dropped once again by Marco Bertoldi. Not the best drive so far.
This has got to be tough on Stern.
It definitely is not the best. And right now, you can see the frustration setting in on the Incredibles, who are not happy with their performance so far. Maybe the first-time jitters of being in the FPF finals has caught up to them, as this is their 6th drop of the game by my count so far in the second half and first half combined. Stern, wait, he is going to run. He's going to get some yards. He makes a move on Darren Basmajan and on the defense, and of course the flag. 9-yard gain for Daniel Kelly. Daniel Kelly with the play on that. Stern gained some yards, a huge play for him to shorten that distance for a potential first down.
And you know what? You cannot blame Greg Stern for taking off with this football after making 2 perfect throws to two of your most solid receivers and them flat out dropping the ball. He says, you know what? I'm going to tuck it in and do it myself.
All right, here we go. This is a big 4th down play coming up here for the Incredibles. They need to get this, otherwise it will be turnover on downs, which has been their downfall because of all the drop balls they've had so far in this football game. 4th down, 4th and short right now for Greg Stern. Gets the ball, he waits, he looks to his left side, he pumps, he's waiting, he throws it. It is high, it is deflected by JP Mancini, and we saw a different rusher, Marvin Golding, rushing Greg Stern. It seemed like he was uncomfortable in the pockets.
Yeah, well, you know that window is obviously going to be a little smaller when you got Marvin Golding in your face rather than a shorter rusher like Omar Naik. But I don't like the choice of, I don't like the read there by Greg Stern. You got some routes underneath. It's not the best throw in double coverage down the field when it's 4th and 1.
And here is the hammer shot, the juggler, if you want to use that term, Rob. If the average Joe score, could this be out of reach now for the Incredibles? A great chess matchup so far to date, and how this game's been played out. Turnovers, great catches, drop balls. It has had everything you expect in a Div D finals.
Oh, it's been a great game, but you got to figure that if the average Joes can punch it in here, Mo, it'll be the end of the game. It's going to be too tough for the Incredibles to score twice before the end of the game.
All we need is the Monday Night Football theme of good night to whoever it is in this football game. And Tom Nicolatopoulos waiting quite a bit of distance between him and Anthony DuPont, but now he comes up closer to DuPont, waiting for the snap of the football. He gets it looking to his left. He's going to run a quick shovel pass, caught by Marvin Golding. That could have been picked off.
That was a dangerous shovel pass.
And a flag on the play, and you wonder what the call will be.
It looks like it'll be a hold on Greg Stern. It looks like he tripped up Golding there once he got by him. Let's take a closer look. Yeah, and you'll see he almost just pulls him by the ankle there. Anything to get him down.
And JP Mancini, Anthony DuPont, Marvin Golding, Omar Naik, Ben Joseph. This has been a good 5-receiver crew for the Average Joes in this football game. First down coming up here for the Average Joes, looking to potentially go up by a 2-score lead. And if they do, this could be it for the Incredibles, who have had a great first 2 seasons in FPF in this calendar year of this league. Tom Nicolatopoulos waiting for the snap. He gets it rolling to his left. He waits. Quick pass out. Marvin Golding, touchdown. 31-19. The Average Joes up by 12. Rob, this is out of question, my friend.
Yeah, this is a tough one. But you know what? It's tough for the defense there when you're in that lane coverage. Once the quarterback rolls out to your side, you're kind of caught in between. Do you step up and block the goal line and then leave someone open over top? Tough play there for Caleb Jones, and Tom Nicolatopoulos took what was given to him, that easy drop off to Marvin Golding.
All right, the point extra over here could be valuable for the Average Joes and for the Incredibles, because if the extra point is good, they go up by 13, which would result in the team having forced themselves to score 2 touchdowns plus an extra point on top of that, if that is the case to be. Right now, Tom Nicolatopoulos getting the play out to his receivers as they look to potentially go up by maybe 13 points in this football game. We'll find out on this next play. Nicolatopoulos gets the ball. He waits, looking over the middle to the corner. It is batted down by Marco Bertoldi. A huge play on Marvin Golding, and that keeps the score to a 12-point lead.
Looked like they were in man defense there, Mo, and Bertoldi was all over that corner route by Golding. And
what tricks can the Incredibles have now? Can they make this a game and make this a respectable finish? Because in all likelihood, with a 12-point lead, with a little time left in the second half,
They'll have to
it's
score
very
quickly.
tough.
They will have to score quickly. They do not have time to march the ball down the field.
The momentum is definitely on the Joe's side, and they want to really put this game out of reach. Omar Naik rushing the quarterback. Stern gets it. He is going to be sacked. He hesitated, and Naik with a huge play.
And you know what? You figure Stern has his eyes down the field, and if there's anything about the Incredibles, it's that they're a quick strike offense, the best one in Division D all season long. But you got to figure that the average Joes with their veteran savvy are sitting on those long patterns, and once you're down to your third or fourth read, you better believe Omar Naik will get the sack.
Second down and long for the Incredibles, and they look like they are not in a good mood right now. They look like a defeated team as we speak. Greg Stern looking, he throws a quick pass out, caught by Bertoldi, tackled by Darren Bassman, a short gain on that play. Third down coming up right now.
And it looks like their defense has softened up a bit, the average Joes here, with good reason. They don't want to be beat over the top. Darren Bassman makes the solid tackle there on Bertoldi to limit the yak.
The Owen Marich of the FPF, Darren Bassman is. All right, Stern looking, he's going to go to his middle. It is caught by Jacob Peterson. A short gain plus more, and a great flag to stop the bleeding on that play. First down it is. Yes, the referees will give them a first down on that play. A great tackle though by Ben Joseph.
Right at the sticks, as you see, and by sticks I mean beanbags, but Jacob Peterson runs his route at exactly 10 yards. Ben Joseph with a great play to deflag him, but right at the first down marker.
First down coming up here for the Incredibles. And Stern looking, he goes deflected by Omar Naik, and again, a huge play by the pass rusher.
Naik making his presence felt here on this important drive for the Incredibles.
And again, Greg Stern has to figure out some sort of plan to maybe cut this lead in half and hope and pray that they can somehow get the football again. But right now, the Avs Joes have the momentum, and they look like they are primed to hoist that Div D title in a few minutes. Stern looking. He's going to go deep into the end zone on the right side. It is caught by Marco Bertoldi once again with a huge catch, 25 yards, and the lead is now 31-26 for the average Joes.
Bertoldi with his second big catch down that right sideline today, and this just comes at the best time. You know what? The Incredibles, the clock is counting down there. Hopefully they can get some kind of turnover on the other side of the ball, but you got to figure that the average Joes will be extremely cautious with the football.
Cautious indeed, but also you wonder if they're going to try to run that clock out in the 5 plays. And again, this is a faint hope drive for the Incredibles, hoping to keep this game within distance. Stern looking, he throws it, he pumps, he's waiting, he's got all day now. Great catch.
Fastball by Greg Stern.
A fastball and a curveball, whatever term you want to use, but a great throw and a great catch. And this game is now within reach of the Incredibles if they could somehow make a play on defense.
And as I was alluding to earlier in the game, Omar Naik, the good and the bad with those jumps. You get those batted balls, but in cases like this, you'll bite on that pump fake and leave the quarterback with the easy task of finding the open receiver.
All right, 31-26, as I pointed out before. Now the key question is for the Incredibles is, can they make a play on defense? And if they can they make a play on offense? So they have two questions they have to answer in the next 2 minutes.
And the question is, Mo, and you're absolutely right. The thing is, will the average Joes even give them the chance to make a play on defense? You got to figure with their veteran savvy, they'll take those short hooks. They'll take whatever they give them. Tom Nikolopoulos can take a sack. He can run down the clock. And if they play their cards right, the championship will be theirs.
First down coming up here, and all they have to do is play it safe for the Joes right now, and Tom Nikolopoulos knows that very well. Oh, and a bad snap as I said that, and the City Bus throwing that ball way wide on that play, and not the best start on this potential last series.
The City Bus seemed to have hit a pothole on that one.
He definitely did on that one. He might have blown a tire in snapping that football. Second down coming up here, and you wonder what call they're going to have on this play, but again, a terrible turn of events on that bass snap by the City Bus.
And we're approaching the 5 plays here, Mo.
And we are definitely approaching 5 plays. The Incredibles gain a little reprieve on that from the bass snap. Nikolopoulos gets it. He's going to run. He's got some real estate. He's going to get about 10, if not 11 yards on that play. Will that be enough to get that first down? Not yet. Oh, it looks like it will be.
Huge run by Nikolopoulos. And this is what I was talking about, Mo. With the ball in your hand, there's no fumbles in flag plus football. There's absolutely no risk of any turnover on a run. So you take those. Obviously, we can't do it on every play.
But again, it's still there for them to keep that fumble proof going on there. First down coming up here for The Average Joes, they had a terrible start, but they got that first down back, and they kill more clock time and plays left in the football game here. Tom Nicolatopoulos looking to put this game out of reach, waiting for the snap. He gets it, looking to his middle, looking to his right. The City Bus with a huge grab, and a flag is going to come out there, and they might call hurdling on the City Bus.
David Stein with a huge tackle there. He was the last man back, and as we alluded to earlier in the game, DePonte, those short completions, but if you miss the flags, Mo, those short completions can turn into long touchdown plays.
And
so big flag by David Stein.
And the City Bus not happy at all with himself, as that can set the team back by a few yards on that play, as second down will come up now for the Average Joes. Right now, Tom Nicolatopoulos looking to put this game out of hand. The Joes looking to win their first ever FPF Division D title. Quite a start for this team, as they had a slow start in the regular season, got blown up by a few teams, and then he came into the playoffs knocking out some major Goliaths.
And it looks like we're into the 5 plays, Mo. So if the Average Joes play their cards right, they should be smooth sailing till the final
end.
whistle.
Yeah, here we go. And this is a big drive for the Incredibles, hoping to make a play on this. Tom Nicolatopoulos for one to his left. He's gonna run it, and he'll get a few yards on that. Not enough, though, I don't think, for a first down.
But the first downs aren't what you're running for. At this point, you're just trying to kill as many plays as possible to get to one play left. You punt the football and you win the game.
And here we go. We're gonna have third down coming up here for the Average Joes. Again, not the best situation for the Incredibles, looking to make a play, and they got to figure it out. They got to dig deep now into their yellow socks to find something in there to help them come up with an incredible play, if you want to use that expression, no pun intended. Third down here. This could be a big play now for Tom Nicolatopoulos as he waits for the snap of the football from the City Bus. He gets it, looking to his right. He's going to go deep for the, and it's picked off.
What a play. What a turn of events, Mo.
David Stein with a huge play, and that was a big 6-point swing that could have ended the game.
And they've been trying to exploit this matchup all day long, and it just hasn't been working for them. David Stein comes up huge for the Incredibles and gives them a chance to win this game.
Potentially win this game. And once again, the end of the first half was a momentum swing for the Incredibles. Could it be happening again now in the second half of this football game?
Well, they'll have 3 plays, Mo. 3 plays to drive down. I think they're at about, they're in the end zone. No, they're not. So they got about 35 yards to drive. They got 3 plays to do it. Let's see what happens.
Peterson has the arm to throw the deep ball, and he has early in the game a 40-yard touchdown pass to Marco Bertoldi to get them a lead in this football game. Pearson is the key guy for the drive. Not yet, though, and he catches the football right away. My apologies. A 7-yard gain as Greg Stern looking to throw that football to his sure-handed receivers today.
And they're just past midfield here with 2 plays left. You got to wonder if the Average Joe's defense is going to, you're thinking Bertoldi, you're thinking Peterson. Will it be someone else who's going to step up and make the big catch here for the Incredibles?
Just like the Disney movie, this could have a Disney finish in a way that no one else could see it. A great game so far up till now. Greg Stern looking to survey the field. He gets the ball. He waits. He throws a deep ball. It is batted away by Marvin Golding. A huge end zone stop by Golding. And we're now down to the last play of the game and 1 life left for the Incredibles.
And you know what? I'm not crazy, and we see this all the time in Flag Plus football where they go for the deep ball with 2 plays left. I'd prefer they take a 6 or 7 yard completion there, try to stretch it to about 10, and then take your shot at the end zone from about the 5 or 6 yard line. We'll see what happens here. Last play of the game, Mo.
Last play of the game, and Captain Tom Magic himself, coming into the huddle to give some words of encouragement to the team. As again, this is the last play, and he knows, cheering on his guys, hoping that Omar Naik throws a good pass rush.
Yeah, and you got to hope that Omar Naik knows here. He can't jump. You can't give a free release to Greg Stern here to find the guy in the end zone.
All right, coming up, the last play right now. This is the last hope, the Disney finish that the Incredibles look to have right now. Stern gets the snap. He looks. He pumps. He's going over the middle. It is caught. It is dropped. And the Average Joes win the Div D title.
Oh, right in the hands of Edinson Neal. He couldn't hold on to it. And what a finish to this game, Mo. I haven't seen a game end with this much of an exciting finish in a long time.
What a Pixar finish for the Average Joes as they win the Div D title. Congratulations on the spring title. Job well done by the entire Joes team. Coming up next is the post-game show. Stay tuned.
Here with Div D champs Ben Joseph and Omar Nick. You guys, at the beginning of the season, did you see yourselves here 15 weeks later?
Yeah, well, so not really at the beginning, no, not when I was QB. But as soon as we got Tom, I had a good feeling we would get there.
No, we had some problems at the beginning, but we regrouped. I think we did well, obviously. Championship, baby.
Good. And at halftime, you found yourselves down by 1 point. Tell me about halftime. What were you guys talking about?
We just kind of wanted to figure out how to stop Greg Stern's deep ball. Like, it's been there all season. We had it figured out, sort of. I mean, we pulled it off, and Omar stepped up the rushing big time and made it happen.
We just talked, we're like, do the same thing we always do, and we got the win. Same shit.
Talk to me a bit about your guy Marvin Golding here. He's been helping you out all playoffs long.
He's a star. Like, without him, we wouldn't have won it. Like, he's centers around the defense. If I didn't have him on D, the D would not be anywhere near as good as it should be.
One word, all-star.
And it got exciting there at the end with a few plays left. You guys found yourselves on defense. What was the feeling throughout your team? Were you guys still confident?
Yeah, we're pretty sure confident. I mean, we've never lost at the end of a game, like on the last 3 plays, so I had a good feeling, and with that last drop bat down there, couldn't be happier, you know?
Same thing. Just happy, no words.
And what about the Incredibles offense? Saw a lot of dropped balls. Do you think that was because of the kind of defense you were playing? How did you guys manage to force those drop balls?
Just trying to get in their head, talking a little smack, and that's about it. They got nervous. That's about it.
Like my good friend Ants always says, you just can't buy experience. I guess the nerves kicked in. Our nerves didn't.
Cool. Well, congratulations, guys. You deserve it. Div D champions. We'll see you next season.
And welcome back to the Div D post-game show. The victorious Average Joes won it 31-26. And as any football fan wants and hopes for, it came down to the last play, which the Incredibles could not convert to potentially win the football game, as the Average Joes, led by J.P. Mancini, Ben Joseph,
Tom Nicolatopoulos,
Darren Basmajan. The list goes on with these guys here with a huge win, a 6 seed that many people thought would never be at this point, finally come through. Andrew, your thoughts on this football game from start to finish? What caught your attention throughout?
Well, first of all, I'll admit that I'm one of those guys who didn't think that they would be here if you'd asked me in week 7 or 8. My thoughts on the game were that I'm just so excited. It was a great game, very entertaining. The story of the game for the Incredibles is probably dropped balls, which led to drives which could not be converted. Story of the game for the Average Joes is that determination, their slow and steady pace down the field, Nicolatopoulos making his good choices, his receivers coming up with important balls at the right times.
Well, it seemed at times, though, if you recall in the first half, that the INT thrown by Nicolatopoulos late in the first half could have been the hammer that the Incredibles could have used to score, which they did not. But in the second half, it was a tale of 2 games here where every moment that the Average Joes had, they converted. They seized the opportunity. And as I pointed out to you, Andrew, when it came to that turnover by the Incredibles, and I said this is a big turnover for the Incredibles because they needed that score and they couldn't, they came up too short, too late here.
You're right. We saw them actually ahead by 1, and then to lose in the second half, it was a bad half for the Incredibles. You're right about that. And now we saw a great team effort by the Joes in the second half, offensively especially. They marched their way down the field, put the ball in the end zone when they had to, hit the right guys at the right time. Very exciting game. It got a little bit more exciting than it should have been if you're an Average Joes fan at the end of the game.
The late INT, that's right. That could have been prevented had they not gone for the kill shot, if you want to use that expression there. But overall, though, looking at this now in terms of the future aspirations for both teams, let's look at the Incredibles. Speaking to the guys before the game, they said Division 4 winter. Do you think they can be competitive in Division 4 winter and field a team that won't get blown out and say to themselves, well, we should have stayed in D5?
Oh yeah, well look, the Incredibles are a very young team. The good thing about being a young team is that they're open to learning about the league, you know. They're very competitive in Division 5/D. I think if they move up to Division 4 next year in the winter division, not only will they field a team, but they'll be successful in that league too. There's no reason that they should have anything anything worse than a 500 record. This team can definitely make the jump. They're ready. Not a lot of people would mind if they spent another season or two in the low division, but if they feel like they're ready to move up, good for them. They'll do just fine. Don't worry about the average. Don't worry about the Incredibles.
Our Average Joes, of course, this is a team that was made up of primarily guys from the Bristol Hawks and,
That's right.
and added parts with Marvin and of course Darren Basmajan. But looking at their future hopes, and if you recall, in the winter season, the Bristol Hawks, which had J.P. Mancini, Ben Joseph, Anthony DuPont, got ousted very early in that playoffs. Now, looking ahead for this team here, I'm pretty confident this team won't be back in winter. But for those guys who were there, what can they do next time around?
Well, I kind of hope this team comes back eventually. They're a great, fun team to watch, but as you did mention, there's pieces from a lot of different teams. So what they could do is they could take this experience, and bring it to their respective teams in the next seasons to help those teams improve themselves and maybe put even more championships under their belt.
All right, then. So there you have it. The Div D post-game wrap right now with Andrew Dana and yours truly, Mo Khan. To sum it up now, what grade would you give the Div D action this past season overall?
Div D action got a solid A, maybe an A- here and there for whatever reasons, because we had parity, we had fun, it was competitive, high-scoring games, offense, and a great group of guys.
All right, well, listen, Andrew, we thank you for your hard work and dedication to the Div D action, and we hope you enjoyed the broadcast, the pregame show, the halftime reports, the postgame show that we just brought to you right now. Congratulations to the Average Joes on winning the 2011 Division D Spring title. And of course, next time we see everybody around here, I don't know if you know the magic words here.
I'm unaware of the magic words. I will allow you, the magician, to utter them.
Well, you would say, without further ado, we'll see you next time.
Without further ado, we'll see you next time.
We'll see you guys in winter 2012, January 8th and 9th for week 1 of the winter FPF season. Good night and congratulations to the Average Joes.
Watch me not stop though.